So I don't have a cool red hoodie like the ones they wear in the show, so I decided to wear my Adidas zip up instead. No, I'm not sponsored, but Adidas, if you want. Hey guys, it's Lyd and welcome back to another episode of Lyd versus K-Drama. I just want to preface this by saying this is not a reaction video, but here's why. It actually wasn't in my plans to cover this drama at all, but after watching the first 2 episodes, I was hooked. And then before I knew it, I caught up to episode 6, and literally when the episode ended, I was like, no! That's when you know a drama is good. You just want more and more. Long story short, instead of trying to catch up on 3 to 4 weeks worth of episode reactions, I decided to make one concise initial thoughts review video similar to the one that I did for It's Okay to Not Be Okay, to summarize and to basically recommend this drama to you guys if you haven't started it yet. If you guys would like me to react to the remainder of the series on a weekly basis, give me a big thumbs up and leave me a comment down below to let me know. 경이로운 소문. The official English translation is Uncanny Counter. The literal translation is more like awesome, phenomenal, amazing, remarkable, incredible rumor. And that's the name of our main lead. His last name is So and his full name is just Moon. Together, 소문 means rumor. I went in with very minimal expectations and I actually didn't think I was gonna like this one because I generally don't follow OCN dramas, which is a network known for gorier, graphic, darker themed dramas like Bad Guys, Save Me, and the Voice trilogy series. But this series seemed a little different from the rest. I did hear that this was a slight veer off from OCN's usual content since they rarely touch on the comedy genre. Uncanny Counter is based off of a Daum webtoon with the same name. It's clearly webtoon adaptation season in K-drama world, and it's essentially about a group of Grim Reaper / demon hunters called counters who catch evil spirits on Earth. The production team is clearly doing something right because the ratings for the show has already set a new record for highest ratings in OCN history. The ratings for episode 8, which is the most recent episode, is more than triple the ratings for the first episode, and I'm just so happy for the team because I think it's extremely well deserved. Moving on with the review, here are 5 things I think you should know / consider when giving this drama a shot. Yes, there will be spoilers, but only for my last point. I'll be sure to indicate it when the part comes up so that you can skip it if you really want to. Now, I love superhero stuff. I watched every Avengers movie and I love the whole we all have different strengths so together we can do anything kind of storyline. So I was intrigued by the premise because I feel like it's really rare to have a superpower centric Korean drama. Sure, you have your vampires and your kumios and your spirits and your occasional handsome alien, but a group of individuals with comic book level superpowers? Not really. I honestly thought it was going to be super cheesy and cringy, but I was pleasantly surprised to find that it was only slightly cheesy and cringy. I guess with this kind of drama though, it's kind of hard to not be somewhat of either without a crazy production budget. Like for example, the stunts are so bad that it's good. Considering what they're working with, I commend the team for, in my opinion, pulling this kind of premise off. I mentioned this in my top 5 favorite K-dramas video that I released a couple of days ago, but I'm very particular about my cast. Whoever was the casting director for Uncanny Counter deserves a raise. And we are now going to do an appreciative deep dive of the main characters and cast members. Cool? Cool. Moon, played by Cho Byung-gyu, is a high school student who joins as the youngest counter member. He has a bad leg because of a car accident that actually killed both of his parents when he was really young. I won't spoil what his special counter ability is because when I found out, I was like, but he's seriously perfect for this group with his sense of justice and his youthful passion and energy. He's really protective of his friends and he just can't stand when the strong pick on the weak. You've probably seen Cho Byung-gyu, who is 24 years old by the way, in previous successful projects like Sky Castle and Stove League. I think Byung-gyu is perfect for the role of So-moon because he is young and he does have all this energy. Next up, veteran actor Yoo Jun-sang plays Kamotak, a former police officer who became a counter after he died in a car accident that happened the same day as Songwon's car accident. His special counter ability is strength. He's kind of gruff with Songwon in the beginning because he really doesn't think this puny high school student can really do anything, but eventually he grows fond of him and kind of becomes like a father figure to him. I also think he's a perfect fit for his character because you just trust he would fulfill whatever role he's playing like really well. Twana, shout out to my fellow web drama lovers, is played by Kim Sejeong, former member of IOI and current member of Kugudan. The image I had of Sejeong in my head is like this bright, cheery idol girl whose groups generally do like girly cutesy concepts. So when I first saw the promotional posters for this drama, I had to do a double take. You may have previously seen Sejeong as the lead in School 2017 and I Want to Hear Your Song. I didn't watch either, so I honestly had no idea what to expect in terms of her acting, but wow. She blew me away. Twana is a stoic, reserved, standoffish counter who has a special counter ability of catching evil spirits. She can sense the presence of an evil spirit from hundreds of miles away, and she has the ability to read people's memories. And last but not least, Yeomhaeran plays Meok, who is kind of like the group's mom because she's always keeping everyone in check and she like dotes on everyone. She possesses healing abilities and she's just this warm and sweet character. I've seen Yeomhaeran as Oh Jung-se's wife / ex-wife in When the Camellia Blooms and as a guest star on Hospital Playlist. I love the diversity of the cast with their various age ranges and also the diversity of the characters and what they each bring to the team, not just in terms of superpowers, but also in terms of personalities. You like fantasy and superheroes? Uncanny Counter got them both. Comedy? Also got it. Murder mystery? Got it. Graphic action, gore, and thriller? Got it, got it, got it. I feel like Korean content in general always mashes together a variety of genres that technically shouldn't fit together, but they somehow force it to work. Personally, I think Uncanny Counter does a great job in seamlessly blending them all together. They definitely give ample time for each genre moment to shine, and it's very clear when you should be laughing or when you should be turning your face away because something bad's gonna happen. The story takes place in a fictional city called Chungjin, and it's just like ridden with evil spirits. Now, these evil spirits can only exist on Earth if they're inside a human being. And the way it works is like your energies have to match. Evil spirits tend to possess people who have violent, evil tendencies, such as serial killers, criminals, etc. And to counter them exists our team of counters, which I just like love that name. It's just so fitting for a variety of different reasons. They run a noodle shop called Unni's Noodles as a disguise, and this part kind of reminds me of the Korean movie 극한직업 or Extreme Job, where a team of detectives use a chicken restaurant as a stakeout location and then end up running a successful business while being undercover. What I love about Uncanny Counter is that they're not keeping it on a superficial level of like, yeah, let's go catch bad guys and stuff, which actually might have been kind of fun now that I think about it, but it just goes so much deeper with a murder mystery and themes of absolving corruption at its core. Songwon is our main protagonist, so his storyline is kind of central to the whole drama, and he has your typical superhero origin story. Parents died, became crippled, raised by his grandparents, has awesome friends, suddenly gains superpowers, is healed, and has a natural knack for crime fighting. Right now, we're halfway through the drama, and what we come to know is that the car accident was no accident. It was a murder staged to look that way. Similarly, Kamotak died on the same day while fighting bad guys who were actually trying to kill him, but he refused to die at their hands, so he jumped off a building and essentially killed himself. We learned that Kamotak and Songwon's father was actually working on the same case, and it seems like they discovered something that they shouldn't have, and someone decided that they needed to be silenced. Now let's add a layer of context in terms of the universe that the webtoon set up. Each counter has a spirit partner who resides in Jung, which is kind of like the afterlife step, like right before you go to either heaven or hell. It's kind of like the train station in Harry Potter in the last movie. Shout out to you if you know what the heck I'm talking about. The three other counters were all possessed by their spirit partners in a comatose state. In exchange for regaining their life and health, they essentially have to agree to becoming a counter and risk their lives to fight spirits and other small things like that. And they all have very specific rules that they need need to follow. Can't meddle in human affairs. Can't use your counter powers for revenge. You can never ever reveal to anyone that you are a counter. If you break any of these rules, you will be stripped of your counter abilities and returned back into a comatose state. But interestingly, Song-moon was possessed by his spirit partner, Wigen, even though he wasn't in a coma. So technically, he didn't even really get anything in exchange for this job, except that his leg was healed, but he's kind of okay even before that. So what he asks for instead is to see his parents again, which we learn in this past weekend's episodes that his parents' souls are trapped in an evil spirit. And because it's a drama, it just happens to be the evil spirit that killed them in the first place. Okay, so moving on to these evil spirits, they, similarly to spirit partners, possess human beings and give them special powers too, like supernatural strength and even stuff like psychokinesis, but that's like way later down the line. They have levels to them. Level 1 is like a first-time murderer or someone with very strong intent to kill. Level 2 is someone who might have killed like 2+ people. Level 3 is someone who has been a frequent killer, but it's also when your voice becomes 2. So it's like your regular human voice plus the evil spirit's voice, like coming out in tandem. They're even stronger and harder to beat. Level 4 is when that person and the evil spirit become one, and they become so difficult to defeat that it would take all of the counters plus Jung territory, which is something that like enhances their powers, to take him or her down. The main objective of the evil spirits is to kill and consume as many human souls as possible to become more and more powerful, essentially to just not get caught and sent to eternal punishment. I know that's a lot, but I really like the way this drama did a lot of the legwork setup in the beginning, and now it's more of just focusing on the individual backstories of each counter and about them unsolving murder mysteries and like the insidious corruption that flows underneath the city of Jungjin, starting from this conglomerate called Sejeong Group all the way up to the mayor himself. This part is for those of you who are watching the show and are fully caught up. My theory is that the mayor had an affair with that girl, Kim Young-nim, and she got pregnant. He had her killed, probably dumped her body in the reservoir, along with like many other bodies. And now he's trying to build a resort on top of it so that their bodies will never be recovered and that his reputation is safe. And I think Song-moon's dad and Motak, before Motak lost his memory and everything, actually caught on to this fact or was trailing after Kim Young-nim's murder. And so he tried to have them killed, and he's just trying to silence everybody who knows. So that's my theory. It's a little bit predictable, so I'm really hoping that the show goes in a different direction, preferably one that makes sense. Anyways, Uncanny Counter will not be airing this upcoming weekend because it's the end of the year. The next 2 episodes will be airing the first weekend of January. Let me know in the comments down below if you've also been keeping up with Uncanny Counter and what you think of it. I would love to hear your thoughts and theories. Make sure to also follow me on Instagram for updates on a new series that I'll be covering later this week, or just subscribe and hit that notification button so that you're the first to know. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Number 3, mesh of genres. Mesh of genres. Number 3, mesh of genres.